Welcome back to Simming History, where we look at the history of architecture through the lens of The Sims. Before we get started today, if you like the video, please take a moment to hit like and subscribe, and stick around to the end of today's video for a special announcement. Today, we are looking at a vernacular architecture type and a viewer request from China, the Fujian Tulou. The Tulou are located in Fujian, a southern province of China, and were built between the 12th and 20th centuries. They are a vernacular architecture type built by the Hakka people. Historically, their purpose was defensive communal living, which you can probably guess from their appearance. Entire clans would live in what was essentially an enclosed village that could house up to 800 people. Most Tulous are round, with a few that are square and a few other shapes thrown in. Square Tulous were the earliest, but round offered unique advantages, particularly easier and more equitable apartment layouts and better ventilation. As they are built for defense, their exterior walls are at least 3 stories tall, with windows only on the upper floors. The exterior walls are made of stone and were at least 3 meters thick at the ground floor, with subsequent floors decreasing in thickness as packed earth was crammed into wooden molds. This provided good insulation as well as protection. It's basically impossible to dig your way through the wall. Between each apartment, there was a packed earthen wall acting as a fire break. A clay tile gable roof with deep eaves encircles the entire building. Some Tulou have openings for guns. It was defensive after all. There is just one main door. The courtyard may include additional rings of shops or apartments if expansion was needed, as well as an ancestral hall. Interiors are constructed of bamboo and earth. Each floor opens onto the center courtyard. Families inhabited the Tulou vertically, inhabiting rooms on each floor. The ground floor served as the kitchen and eating area. The next floor was for grain storage, makes sense, keep it up out of the reach of vermin, and bedrooms on all upper floors, where the windows were, for ventilation. The biggest Tulous could have had 80 apartments. That's 80 families, all from the same clan living together. Each family had the same rooms, regardless of standing. This is communal living at its most literal and pure. The exteriors are fairly plain, except occasionally at the main door, see pictures linked down below, but the interiors frequently have ornate decor and detailing and were designed for comfort. The Tulous are self-contained, so much so that it is not uncommon for elders to never leave, and only the young to leave for work or agriculture. The only thing the Tulou is missing is space to grow food, but Tulous are typically grouped together into clusters, which does provide garden space between the buildings, and of course the benefit of grouping together for security. The compounds are also surrounded by rice and tea fields, and as previously mentioned, each apartment includes a room for grain and food storage. If these look familiar, there's a good reason for that. It was featured in the live-action remake of Mulan, which is unfortunate and ironic, as Disney claimed that remake was historically accurate, and it isn't. There are plenty of videos that break down all of the historic inaccuracies, but for us in this channel, architecture is our focus, and the Tulous were built by the Hakka people in southeasternmost China, whereas Mulan was way from northernmost China and from a different era entirely. This was a different people, a different race, a different language, a different country, and different vernacular architecture. Currently, there are still more than 3,700 Tulou in China, and in 2008, 46 of them in southwest Fujian were inscribed into UNESCO World Heritage. They can be visited, and they are all still actively being used and lived in, usually by descendants of their original builders. UNESCO's page has some really beautiful photographs, which I can't include in the video because of copyright, but I have included a link down below so you can go check them out. It is absolutely worthwhile. From UNESCO, quote, "They are inscribed as exceptional examples of a building tradition and function, exemplifying a particular type of communal living and defensive organization, and, in terms of their harmonious relationship with their environment, an outstanding example of human settlement." End quote. Big news is we have hit 1,000 subscribers. Special shout out to all the new subs. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to all of my long-term subs for sticking around. If you aren't subscribed and you're watching this, you should do that. As promised, there will be a live build. I just have to work out the logistics. Let me know below if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, or suggested buildings for the live build. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, you can find me on Instagram at Simming History occasionally, and on the Sims 4 gallery, where there'll be playable versions of this and many other builds on this channel. Subscribe and share. I'll see you all next time. Until then, bye!